Hello and welcome to the Old Gods Meadery. I am live. Every Saturday I come out with a brand new batch of mead. Always a brand new batch. I don't miss Saturdays and I don't replicate recipes. And then every single Sunday I go live to see what you thought about the previous batch. So here we are. Welcome. Yesterday was your roasted malt mead. It's absolutely amazing. It is like a beer and honey wine hybrid inspired by Lord of the Rings. So go check out that video. Welcome and happy Sunday morning. Give me a moment to get all loaded here and get some coffee in me. Let's be honest. Gotta get some coffee in you. Now we're set. Don't spill coffee on your computer. It'll be a good day. Hello and welcome to the Old Gods Meadery. Let's move this slightly out of the way. Move these guys more in the way. Alright, we're all set. Hello and welcome. Good morning. It is currently 28 degrees here on the East Coast in Maryland, which I'm not going to complain about. It's been a really cold winter. A really cold winter. And we're almost at the cusp of it being beautiful. I'm pulling that up right now. Let's see if I can get it to load. Nope. Nope. It's just a silly map. I just want like how it's going to be this week. Hello and welcome to the Old Gods Meadery. I make mead every single week. Every single Saturday I come out with a brand new batch. I have never missed a Saturday, and I have never replicated a recipe. Batch 158 came out yesterday. It is right here, your roasted malt mead. So it's like a beer and honey wine hybrid. It's incredibly easy to make. I showed you exactly how to do it in the video yesterday. Go back and check it out. Make sure and leave a comment and like. Give me a follow if you want to start making your own alcohol at home. Nobody on the internet makes more mead recipes than I do. I am your number one. Give me a follow. Hello, welcome. Good morning, Dennis. And thank you. Yeah, we have a couple days where it's going to be like in the 60s this week. I'll take that all day long. All day long. We're at the cusp. At the cusp. Hello, hello. Welcome to the Old Gods Meadery. Let me get my Excel up so I can speak about future batches. If you don't know what mead is, it's the oldest alcoholic beverage in the world, independently discovered by many different countries and cultures. The oldest evidence is actually from Africa, over 20,000 years ago. Do you even know anything that's that old? That's like the oldest thing you know. Before that, there's evidence in China, about 10,000 years old. There's evidence in Central America, and of course Northern Europe, where the Vikings traded it, made it super famous, did it better than everybody else. That last part is subjective. Everything else I said is true. But what that means is regardless of who you are or where you're from, your ancestors drank mead. And that's something we have in common. I think that's awesome. Start making your own alcohol at home. Give me a follow. I show you exactly how to do it from beginning to end every single Saturday. The recipe is always free in those Saturday videos. Your roasted malt mead inspired by Lord of the Rings came out yesterday. It is like a beer and honey wine hybrid, and it is fantastic. I showed you exactly how to do it in the video. Go check it out. Yeah, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. Welcome to the Old Gods Meadery, and I do that every single Saturday. And then in addition to that, every single Wednesday, I go live, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to show you different steps of the mead making process live. Last week was really awesome. We racked a strawberry lemonade mead, and it looks beautiful so far. I can't wait. This coming Wednesday, we're going to be starting a new batch from scratch, so come back. I will tell you what the flavor is as we get that live going Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be on a few minutes before that, having a cocktail. Let's be honest. We'll get started at 9 o'clock sharp, and then afterwards we'll have another cocktail together and see what you thought of the process. The whole process will take less than 10 minutes. That live will be much longer than that. But that's how easy it is to start making your own alcohol at home. Give me a follow. Nobody on the internet makes more mead recipes than I do. You can fact check that. You'll never find anybody. Batch 158 came out yesterday. Batch 159 comes out this coming Saturday, and that is your St. Patrick's Day mead. I can't wait to show you what the flavor is. You're going to love it, though. It's going to be awesome. Welcome to the Old God's Meadery. I'm not making lasagna mead. Not yet. Not yet. For those who don't know, on that note, though, I have made some weird meads. Pizza mead, it was gross. Old Bay mead, very gross. Some of the batches fail. Every single one's an experiment. I don't replicate recipes, so every single one is brand new to me. And yeah, sometimes they're weird. In May, I'm kicking off a brand new series called Will It Mead, and you guys are going to have a lot of fun with that. I can't wait to show you what I have in store. I have several of them already in progress in the background, and I can't wait to show you some of them. Can't wait to show you some of them. We're going to kick off a few new categories. It's going to be really fun. So stay tuned, but I got lots of great mead still all the way through April. Again, a brand new mead every single Saturday. The next one is your St. Patrick's Day mead, and then we're sticking with the holiday theme. I'm going to show you a spring equinox mead right after that. And then, let's see, after that, another pop culture mead that should be a lot of fun. After that, a Norse gods and goddesses mead. After that, another pop culture mead. And then we're on to our Easter mead, and then the week after that is your last Norse gods and goddesses mead. So, stay tuned. It is art, and I love the experimenting side of it, the creativity behind it. Like I said, I don't replicate recipes, so every single one is brand new. And yeah, you just learn so much by doing it that way. Batch 159 comes out this Saturday. I'm very excited. It should be an amazing year. And welcome. Give me a follow if you don't already. We are over 15,000 strong on TikTok, over just about 3,000 strong on YouTube, and growing like crazy. YouTube is a great place if you want to go and watch all of my playlists. I have all of the mead that's ever been up there, including some of my original batches where I'm far more rigid and awkward before I found my niche, if you will. But yeah, they're all up there. You can go and watch and learn how to make lots of batches. I've refined it. The more recent ones are far more like entertaining, I think, but cheers. Good morning. Welcome to the Old God's Meadery. It should be a lot of fun though, like I said. Lots of great meads on the way. What do we have? Another 8 or so until the schedule switches over, and then in May, everything is going to change. When I say that, you're still going to produce a brand new mead every single Saturday, but all the categories are going to switch over. Right now, I'm making meads for pop culture meads. That's like this one was suggested by somebody that wanted a Lord of the Rings mead. So I made this roasted malt mead. It's off the song. If you're a Lord of the Rings fan, I am. It's off the song that Merry and Pippin are drinking in the bar. And they're referencing the Green Dragon, which is a bar in the Shire where you'll never find a beer so brown as the one they drink in their hometown. So that's what the inspiration was behind this mead. It's a beer honey wine hybrid, and it's fantastic and incredibly easy to make. 5 ingredients, and one of them you don't even really need. It just kind of helps the process. But yeah, the exact recipe's in the video yesterday. It's 1 gallon water. This is 1 pound of malt that I roasted in the oven, roasted malt. 3 pounds of honey, 2.5 grams of yeast, and then 2 grams of yeast nutrient. And that's it. That's all that's in that. And I showed you exactly how to replicate it. All you need is your own equipment and buy your own ingredients. And then I also make meads based off of, inspired by Norse gods and goddesses. Last week I did one off the Norse god Njord, who is the god of the sea. And he's got a great story. I told you a little bit about it in some of the videos that were up leading up to that. This is your grapefruit and cranberry mead. It is so refreshing. It is based off of a sea breeze cocktail, which I thought was fitting. And I left a glass out for Njord, and hopefully he enjoyed it. And then lastly, I'm making meads based off holidays. Like I said, this coming Saturday is your St. Patrick's Day mead. I've had a lot of fun. That's my oldest theme that I've been working on, and I will continue that past May. That's going to continue through the rest of 2026 or 2025 into 2026. I have lots of recipes planned out and lots of them in the works already. So every major holiday and a couple of minor holidays, I'm going to bring you a brand new batch of mead, and it is awesome. And then, so that category is sticking out. The other three going to change. The Norse gods and goddesses actually evolving into a world deity mead line. I'm going to be studying and taking very seriously, learning what I can about some other gods and goddesses from all over the world, from many different religions, and really trying to hone in and make a mead worthy of their attention. I am going to go out of my way to try not to insult anybody. So if I do, it's completely by mistake. I apologize. On the flip side of that, I'm kicking off a brand new category for zodiac signs. That one I'm going out of my way to insult you, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We're kicking that off with Gemini in May. Like I said, every single zodiac except for mine, got to make fun of you. So Virgo's going to be your best mead. Every other one, it's going to be all right. But we'll see. I can't wait to show you. And then lastly, and one I'm very excited about, I'm kicking off a series called Will It Mead, where I'm taking an ingredient or two or several to see if I can make a mead out of it. I go in there with the expectations that it will fail. So we're going to see if, we can make something pretty good out of something unexpected. So stay tuned. All of that is in the very near future. Can't wait to show you what I have in store in the background. Be gentle with Scorpio. That's not going to happen. Bottled your first mead yesterday. Fantastic. Congratulations. And welcome to the most ancient hobby and best community in the whole world. Was it like traditional? Did you have like a certain flavor? Welcome, welcome, welcome. And for everyone else, welcome to the Old Guys Meeting. We're just chit-chatting about some mead while drinking some coffee. Black coffee. Got to get everything moving. Got to get awake. Raspberry blackberries. So yeah, you started off hard. That's pretty awesome. And you can't go wrong with any berries. They're my favorite and one of the easier ingredients to use. So that's fantastic. Incredibly sweet. Yeah. I mean, you use a lot of berries in there. So that largely has to depend on what yeast strain you use. So which yeast do you use? We might be able to like just replicate that recipe exactly for you, lower the sweetness a little bit, just by changing your yeast over. The Virgo mead is going to be the best mead ever. It's going to be the best mead ever. Maybe. It will. I mean, it'll be the best Zodiac mead. I can guarantee that. But no, in all seriousness, like all the meads, there's lots of bad jokes in the Zodiac meads. I'm telling you right now. But they should still come out to like serious meads that you can replicate. RSPC 12. Not super familiar with it. I'm gonna be honest. Is it? Were they like wine yeasts? What brand was it? Let's start there. I can always look it up. I will say, my good buddy and mead mentor of mine, Scott, made a Discord. I have a link up in my link tree. There is a Red Star. Okay. Yeah, I don't use Red Star, but I am familiar with the brand. There's a yeast chart over there that shows all the common wine yeasts. You can also Google it. But join the Discord. It's an awesome place for mead makers of every skill level. There's brand new people over there. There's people far more skilled than I ever will be. And everybody just kind of collaborates and shares ideas. But there's a yeast chart that's incredibly helpful. It shows you the yeast strand, the actual alcohol tolerance, the temperature tolerance, and then the predicted like flavor palette. It's fantastic. But I would say move to like a closer to a higher alcohol level, maybe EC1118. That's what most of the meads that you see in front of you I use. That is called a champagne yeast, so it's got a much higher alcohol tolerance, so it'll produce higher alcohol level, a little bit lower sweetness. Hello, welcome. The 71B, yeah, that's one of the most common ones out there. 17% is really high. That's great. That's a great start. For your first mead, you are already in an amazing spot. I usually switch most of the meads you see on my channel. It's either EC1118 or D47. I did experiment a long time ago with many different yeasts, very, very early on, and those are the two that kind of stuck to me. You can really produce. I love EC1118. That's my favorite one personally, but it does produce drier meads in a lot of cases, higher alcohol content, but it's rapid. It's really fast. You can usually ferment if the temperature is right in a couple of weeks. It's also really predictable, but sometimes you get dry meads out of it, which I like, but the general public does not. And then T47 is like a step below that. It's a little bit semi-sweet. Also pretty predictable. It takes a little bit longer to ferment in a lot of cases. A little bit lower alcohol content, but you definitely get a wider range for people. Well, thank you so much. I am passionate. I'm very passionate about what I do. I'm passionate about the hobby, and I'm even more passionate about the community that has welcomed me into it. It's an amazing hobby, and like I said, awesome friends. But yeah, if you're just jumping in, you don't know what we're talking about. I make mead. It is the oldest alcoholic beverage in the world, made in a very similar fashion as wine, except we use honey for the main fermentation source, as opposed to grapes or other fruits. But every combination exists in between. I make a brand new batch of it every single Saturday. I have never missed a Saturday since I started this journey, and I have never replicated a recipe. Batch 158 came out yesterday. It is a honey wine and beer hybrid. This is my roasted malt mead. It is incredibly easy to make. I show you exactly how to do it from beginning to end in the video that came out yesterday. And the recipes are always free. They're in the description of those videos. So you can replicate this stuff and you can polish it. You can make the recipes better. But they're always free. There are some mead creators out there that charge for their stuff or sell you books and stuff. I don't do any of that. I like to share my knowledge and learn from you guys. So everything I do is for free. All you have to do is buy your own equipment and your own ingredients, and you can do everything that I do yourself. If you really want to support what I do, there's some TikTok subscriptions. That helps a lot in the background. I also sell t-shirts. If you want to buy a mead t-shirt, but I'm not going to hassle you on it. I'm not going to hassle you. Those get updated about once a week or so. What do I do for clarity for me? That's a great question. I use time. I have a really rigid schedule in the background where I start batches, and they usually sit between 3 and 5 months. But that's all I use. My main goal when I first started out this journey, and something that I've stuck to hardcore, is I want to show the simplicity of mead making, show you exactly how to do it and how easy it can be. So there's a lot of steps that I skip that you'll see other mead makers and much better brewers do. I don't use my hydrometer. Sometimes in the background I'll do it just to check, like spot check, but it's been a really long time since I used it last. That's a controversial thing. That's a tool that we use in the brewing industry to read the alcohol content. So a vast majority of the stuff I guess on. That's why I don't talk about it in the videos. I can tell you that it's high or low just by taste, but I don't know exactly what the alcohol content is of anything that I make usually. I also don't use any accelerating chemicals or additives. There are some stuff out there. I talk about it frequently. There's something called bentonite, which is like a clay substance that can help the particles drop a little bit faster. You can also cold crash, which is when you put it like the meat in the refrigerator, and it'll slow the particles down to the point where they start dropping a little bit faster. But I just use time. There are some batches, like this is my failed Skittles batch. You see how gross that is. Just judging by the top of that bottle, I bet you if you let this sit for like a couple years, it probably will clarify. But that's like 6 months old. Well, actually, that's mean. If you ask a question and I missed to ask it again, I got off on a tangent. Yeah, those are pretty common. I would say a vast majority of people do it. And I always, when I start talking about this question in particular, I say you need one of two things to be a mead maker, but you only need one of the two. You do not need both. You either need patience, because this stuff takes a lot of time. Like I said, minimum, you're usually looking at 4 months. Minimum. From beginning to end. And usually you want to go a couple months after that. Or you need a lot of equipment. Which I do, because I don't have any patience at all. So I actually start a batch in the background. I record those pre-videos that you see. So when I come out with a Saturday video, the beginning portions of those videos, I actually recorded 6 months prior to you seeing them. I have to be incredibly organized. But so you can just tell the time frame. It takes a long time to make it. But if you brew like I do, so I use 2-gallon fermenting buckets, and then after the fermentation process, I transfer to 1-gallon glass carboys. If you own a lot of carboys, the fermentation process only takes a couple weeks, a few weeks. Then you can transfer it over and just set it and forget it, as they say, which is typically what I do. I have some racks where I have a lot. So my Saturday batches alone are a rotation of 16 different carboys. Yeah, and sometimes I actually go a little bit above that because I have extra carboys. And I didn't buy all that at once. I started off with 1 bucket and 2 carboys, and grew this hobby over time. If you look for glass carboys, you can buy a 4-pack of them for relatively cheap, like $30 or so, if I remember correctly. You buy one of those, like every 6 months or so, you can really step up your game really fast. Or you can do what most common people do, and they use either the tablets or cold crashing or a combination of lots of different things. I actually have some of that. I think I do. Maybe I don't. Oh yeah, I do. So this is that bentonite that I was talking about. This is like a clay substance. I don't know if I could show you without like spilling it, but it's like a clay that you just put in the primary process, and what it does is like the yeast will work around it, replicate, eat sugars, and then this stuff will kind of stick to those particles and any other particles if you put like fruits or whatever in it too, and then just kind of help it. It just makes them heavier so they drop faster. I used that one time on camera. I don't do beer, but I've done lots of like the one I came out with yesterday is a hybrid. So this is a roasted malt mead. It is a honey wine and beer hybrid. Incredibly easy to make. But yeah, this has got a great like mead / beer taste to it. It's like an ale that also is a mead. How do you clean equipment that hasn't been used for 4 years? I mean, I guess there's a lot of variables in that. Depends on how dirty it is. Was it like in a cupboard or was it like sitting outside? No, but for the most part, you should be okay. Scrub everything down and then sanitize it. Everything that you see in the mead making process should be sanitized. Anything that touches your meat at any point in the process should be sanitized anyway. There are some other gross things that like the same growing environment as yeast does. Some molds and some other gross stuff. So you always want to make sure your stuff is really sparkly clean and very sanitized. I would say if you do that, you should be fine. So I still use my original 2 buckets. If you look inside of them, like you see them on camera, the outside. If you look inside of them, they're stained to all hell. Like they're gross looking. But I've had to replace the lids a couple times. But the buckets are still fine. But if you were to glance at it and you didn't know, you would be like, that's probably not clean. Good things take time. How did I get into this? So that's another great question that I love to talk about. So I actually started just heritage-wise looking into my own heritage. Um, I am Scandinavian by ancestry and got obsessed with some of that culture. Not necessarily the Viking culture, but the Norse culture in general. Religious wise, got very involved in it, and then really got into mead after that. And then I was like, I need to know the history of mead. I want to start learning. And the deeper I dug, the more I realized the Viking Age was actually one of the latter peoples to discover mead. There was many cultures from all over the world that independently discovered it. It is something that could, unify lots of different people. It was traded in many different cultures. The oldest evidence is from Africa, and that information just came out last year. I think it was May or March last year. There was an article that came out in the southern Africa region, not South Africa, the country, but the southern African tip. There was some honey, fermented honey, like on purpose, clay pots, discovered that was 20,000 years old. They couldn't even date it. It's like they predicted it 20 to 40,000 years old. I say 20,000 because that's the minimum on the safe side. But it's insane to think that something's that old. There's evidence in China. If you Google it, that's often the comment because that article is really fresh. But there's evidence in China about 10,000 years old. But I got obsessed with that. So when I first started this channel, I started making meads inspired by different countries and cultures from all over the world. That's what really got me experimenting with lots of crazy ingredients. And then my niche kind of just evolved into what it is today with like different themes of meads that I put out every week. So I don't know why the Discord doesn't work for some people, but shoot me a direct message and I will answer it after this. I will shoot you a direct link to it and hopefully that'll work. Welcome to the Old Gods Me. If you're just jumping in, thanks for being here. Good morning. It is Sunday morning, almost 7:30, 28 degrees here in Maryland, which I'm happy with. It's not 8 degrees. I can't wait for it to be 70. I often talk about I like hot weather. I can't wait for the summer. Anyway, welcome. Yesterday's mead was awesome. Also, another cool thing about the Discord, Scott put up a commercial channel. So anytime him or I hear about a meadery in the United States that ships, and they have a website, those are like the two clauses, he'll add it to that list. So you could go and kind of just browse different meaderies from all over the country and get mead shipped straight to your house and support some awesome meaderies that way. My favorite is actually from a winery here in Maryland called Linganore Wine Cellars. They make a lot of great wines if you're a wine guy or gal. But they make one mead and they supply our Maryland Renaissance Festival with it every year. It is this one. This is Linganore Wine Cellars mead, and it is a great introduction to mead. I think it's semi-sweet to sweet, so it's a little bit on the sweeter side. It's obviously clear, crystal clear. It's beautiful, and it's like 15 bucks a bottle. Like you can't go wrong with that. The most common one you'll see commercial-wise is this one. This one you can't get shipped straight to your house. This is from Denmark, but it's very popular in the United States. You can usually find it at your local liquor stores, or you can go third party and get it shipped to your house, like a Total Wine if you're close to one of those. This is from a company called Dangst in Denmark. They do two really cool things. They have about 5 flavors. They all come in a different colored ceramic bottle that have, it's hard to see on the black one, but they have these Nordic runes inscribed on the top. So you like keep these bottles after they're empty because they're awesome. The other cool thing they do is all of the recipes are from the 1700s. So if you pour this out, it doesn't look like one of these clear meads. It's actually a little bit opaque. This one is probably their most popular, highest seller. This is their Viking Blood mead. It is an hibiscus and ginger mead, and it's fantastic. I have made peach. As a matter of fact, the Benonite that I just showed you, the clay stuff, that's the batch I use it on. Peach is it is known in the brewing community to be one of the more difficult fruits to work with for whatever reason. It's really hard to clarify. There's probably some science behind that. I don't know. I didn't dig into it. I know Dennis, who is here in the TikTok side comments, is I think working on a peach too, aren't you? Or have been talking about it at least. Um, but I would say you'll probably be better off using a substitute or like a peach juice, something like that. You'd probably get much better results out of it if you're trying to make it for somebody. Difficult fruit to work with. I see what you did there. Yeah, but yeah, it's on my list. Like I don't replicate recipes, so I'm not going to go back and do that recipe. But that one was really difficult to clarify. I did two batches of it. One of them I did just time, and then the other one I used that the bentonite, the clarifying agent, and I got the exact same result from both batches. So if that says anything, I don't know. Metal festivals in Germany, yeah, I bet. I mean, it's big in a lot of different communities. It's growing too. My drinking horn is right here. I have two. This is a big one. I don't use that very often. The other one, every single batch of mead that you've seen me make on Saturdays, I drink out of that batch. Every single batch that I've ever made, I've drank out of that horn. It's like my what do they call it? Superstition. I have to do it. Just started your first batch last night. What was it? What flavor? And congratulations. It's usually big, yeah. Metal festivals, I've heard. Obviously, there's like lots of Nordic festivals. Those are kind of growing all over, especially in the United States. They've always been there in Europe, but they're growing in the United States. Another big one is Renaissance festivals here in the U.S. Or it's big. A traditional mead, you're not going to be disappointed. It's going to be awesome. Welcome to the most ancient hobby and best community in the whole world. Join the Discord if you can. This coming Saturday is your St. Patrick's Day mead. I can't wait to show you. It's going to be cool. It's going to be really cool. After that, spring equinox mead. I'm really excited about that because I know weather's going to get better. If I'm showing you a spring equinox mead, it's because the weather's getting better. Yeah, I actually, most people start with that traditional just mead. I actually still use that traditional recipe for a vast majority of what you see. My base recipe is 1 gallon water, 3 pounds of honey, 2.5 grams of yeast, 2 grams of yeast nutrient, and I use every single batch you see almost is that exact recipe with something else added into it. Sometimes I skew off. There's a couple batches. I might even have some here actually. Um, This one, for instance, this is one of my favorite flavors I've ever made. It's delicious. This is my caramel apple I made. It was from my pop culture series. I made this inspired by Disney World, from somebody that suggested Disney World mead. This, instead of water, it's 1 gallon apple juice. You got to make sure it's real apple juice, not that, synthetic stuff. But 1 gallon apple juice, and then I caramelized the honey. So it's still 3 pounds of honey, but I caramelized it before we made the mead. And it is not only beautiful, one of the best flavors, tasting meads I've ever made. Ever. It is fantastic. The St. Patrick's Day mead is going to be fine. I'm not making fun of any Irish, I promise. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. All jokes aside, it's going to be good. And I'll put some hints out later this week. On Tuesday, I usually come out with my agenda. I'll show you what we're going to be doing Wednesday. And this coming Saturday, like I said, it is St. Patrick's Day mead. I'll give you a little hint now. It's going to be like a cocktail. It's going to be a cocktail version. And it's going to be awesome. Woo! Did ancient Egyptians make mead? It is highly likely. There is evidence in the southern Africa area, but even during like the Viking Age, um, mead was like recorded, traded all over the Middle East and probably northern Africa at that point as well. So it's highly likely at some point in history, yes. It's very safe to say that everybody that's watching this, somewhere in your ancestry, somewhere down the line, somewhere, your ancestors drank mead. It's very safe to say that. It is the oldest alcoholic beverage in the world, far older than beer, far older than wine, and it was independently discovered by so many different countries and cultures from everywhere. It's likely that your ancestors drank mead. And I show you how to make a brand new batch of it every single Saturday. There's my plug. All you gotta do is give me a follow, buy your own equipment and your own ingredients, and you can make your own. Yeah, the holiday meads are always fun. I love doing those. That's why I kept it. And then the Norse gods and goddesses is evolving into world deity, and yeah, we're gonna kick the first one of those comes out May 17th. The first god that I am honoring outside of the Norse gods and goddesses is gonna be, yeah, and it's gonna be a good one. It's gotta be a good one. I'm looking at the recipe right there, right off camera. Yep, we have stuff going. I mean, I have towards the tail end of the year. It's obviously stuff I haven't started yet, but it is very. Most of the recipes are there. If not, like there's a really solid idea of what I want to do with them. So. And some of the stuff is already surprising me. I don't want to give any like hints away, but like the will it mead category, I'm taking ingredients that I don't think will be successful. I'm literally going in expecting it to fail. I'm already surprised by more than half of them. I'll say that. More than half of them are already surprising me. It's pretty amazing. I got a lot of good stuff going on in the background. Definitely some drink traders. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hello. Good morning. I'm just here spilling some coffee, talking about mead. It's alright, just a little spill. It kind of forces me to just clean the bar after the lives, which is a good thing. Good morning and welcome to the Old God's Meadery. I make mead every single week, a brand new recipe. I don't miss Saturdays, and I don't replicate recipes. Every single one. Nobody on the internet, nobody makes more mead recipes than I do. You can fact check that. You'll never find anybody. I am your goat of mead making recipes. Batch 159 comes out this coming Saturday. And you want to know something really cool? I've been really excited about this in the background. It's not a secret because if you were good at math, you'd figure it out. I'm not good at math, but I have an Excel sheet that kind of does it for me. So on December 27th this year will be the last mead that I come out with for this year. Until 2026. It is your New Year's mead. It's celebrating New Year's Day, New Year's Eve. It is batch 200. So if you don't think that's going to be like an amazing, most celebrated historic mead I've ever made, you're wrong. Batch 200 comes out December 27th. Put it on your calendar. Batch 200. Just saying. Welcome to the Old God's Meadery. And it is gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be pretty awesome. You can you can guarantee it. Hello and welcome, welcome, welcome to the Old Gods Meetery. It will be your Happy New Year's mead, your Happy 200th mead celebration. It's going to be a lot of cool stuff going on simultaneously. As for today, I have some, after I'm done this live, I've got a couple batches I need to rack. And I think a batch I need to start this week is going to be pretty cool. I can't talk about it yet, but you'll see it much later in the year. And then if I get any downtime, just gotta do some brainstorming, get some stuff going. Yeah, I have everything through the very beginning of 2026 is already written. Um, Obviously, the next 6 months or so are already in progress in the background. And then there are some recipes I still have to plug in some ideas. I have like vague ideas of what I want to do. Um, but yes, without giving anything away, the answer is yeah. Yeah, I have a plan for the 200th batch. I get excited about stuff like that because I'm looking at it, I'm brainstorming, it's fresh in my mind. Batch 159 comes out this coming Saturday, so I like to stay current too because I'm very excited about. I mean, I get excited about every batch because I can't wait. But I got a lot of great stuff before the 200th. A lot of great stuff. I get excited. You guys, when you watch that Saturday video, I show you from beginning to end how to do it. And that last portion of it where I'm bottling it, I cork it, and then I label it. And then the very tail end of that, I'm trying it and telling you what I think. That's usually recorded the same week that it comes out or a week before. Everything else is recorded much earlier, obviously. But those are real-time reactions. So my excitement is real. Like this roasted malt mead, I just tried last week. It's fantastic. I fell in love with it. I didn't expect it to be as good as it is. And it's so easy to make, and it hits a couple different categories. So like if you like beer, this might get you into the mead world. So good day, Dennis. Good to see you. I'll see you next time. Oh, you're not going. I reread that. I read that as I need to get going. I need to get some going. So what it actually says. Just found your channel. Oh, the green mead behind me, that's a sharp eye. That is a sharp eye. Because you can't even see it on this live. So this is one of my original batches. This is, I made a series of Norse gods and goddesses long time ago. I've since rehashed it. It's a current series, but this one is one of the original OG batches. This is your gummy bear mead. So this is a sour gummy bears. Just green ones that I made a mead out of. It is your Loki mead. Inspired by the Norse god Loki. I have since made another green one that was really impressive, but it didn't stay green. There is a substance called spirulina, which comes in two major forms, blue or green. I made a mead for both colors, and the colors were amazing. So spirulina is actually, it's like a seaweed kind of substance that they dehydrate and grind. So it's in a powder form. And it's very common in like a vegan community. It's packed full of like stuff that's really good for your body, supposedly. I don't know. I made a mead out of it, and the green one went nuts. It was such a vibrant and awesome green, but it diluted over time. I don't know why. Like after it's bottled and corked, so it's sealed bottle, it actually just became more like gray. But it looked brilliant at the time. If you're going to drink that relatively fresh, that's a really cool one. It's really easy to make. But that one, yeah, it's green, sour, apple, green, gummy bears. Good day again, Dennis. Have fun. See you later. I'll answer your text in a little while, too. I just saw it this morning. I'll answer it after the live. Yeah, that one I don't think there was a video for. I can try to find the green spirulina mead, though. And I want to say that was 1 pound. So it was my typical recipe with 1 pound of green gummy bears. The green spirulina one was batch 108. So about this time last year, about 50 weeks ago. But it's much easier to find on the YouTube side. Yeah, the green spirulina one is batch 108. And then the blue spirulina was batch 110. Well, thank you, Robert. I appreciate that. I'm a little gimmicky and goofy, but I am very passionate. I do have that in my pocket. Anyway, guys, it is getting close to 8 o'clock. We're about 15 minutes out. I am going to start wrapping stuff up. Thank you so much for letting me be here this morning. It's been awesome. I had a great time. Please go back and watch, if you haven't already, your roasted malt mead that came out yesterday. So incredibly easy to make. And if you're a beer fan, this might get you interested in the mead world. It is a great hybrid between honey wine and beer. And so easy to make, like I said. You can replicate this easy. Easy. Go back and watch the video. And then come back this Saturday and every Saturday for a brand new batch of mead. I don't miss Saturdays. I have never, ever missed a Saturday since I started this journey. And I have never one time replicated a recipe. Every single one is brand new and absolutely unique. Batch 159 comes out this Saturday. And it is inspired by St. Patrick's Day. So I will show you my St. Patrick's Day mead. It should be awesome. I can't wait. One last favor. Go out and make somebody smile today. It is Sunday. The world needs it. It always needs it. It will always need it. Go make a stranger smile today. If you can't, make somebody you know smile at least. And yeah, spread that. Ask them to do it too. The world needs it. So I'll see you guys all real soon. I'll be back this Wednesday live right here. We'll be starting a brand new batch of mead live. Those Wednesday lives are a lot of fun. And those Wednesday batches stay exclusive to the live. So I will start a brand new batch this Wednesday. In a few weeks, we'll be taking that same batch and racking it also on a live. And then in a few months, we'll be taking that same batch and bottling it and tasting it on a live. So those stay in the live exclusively. So stay tuned. Come back this Saturday or this Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Set an alarm. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait. And I can't wait to show you what I have in store. So this Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll start something new. And then this Saturday, 8 a.m., I'll show you my St. Patrick's Day mead. The how-to video will come out, and the recipe will be free in the description. So you can replicate it and make it your own. I'll see you guys all next time. Thank you so much for letting me be here. Skål! Enjoy your coffee. And drink tons of it.